Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the new series I want to do called Stand Talk, where I'm going to be talking about various stands from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not going to do every stand in the series, I'm just going to do ones that I personally want to talk about or have a discussion about, or ones that I just really like. And before I get into the meat of the video, I do want to preface by saying that I am an anime-only watcher. I don't read the manga. That being said, the stand I want to talk about for episode 1 is Okuyasu Nijimura stand, The Hand. Alright, so first off, the musical reference that the stand is named after is a Canadian-American rock band called The Band, which is funny, it's a band called The Band. It is formed in 1967, and its members were Rick Danko, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, Robbie Robertson, and Levon Helm. Something I always found interesting about the name, The Hand, is that unlike the other musical references for the stand names, it is not direct. It is not called The Band, it is called The Hand, while all other stands are named directly after the song and bands they are referencing. It's sort of like a name that the subtitles would give it to avoid copyright, sort of like how in Part 5, Sticky Fingers was in the subtitles named Zipperman, or, something like that. The reason I can think of that Araki did this is probably he couldn't really think of a stand power with a stand named The Band, or he just thought of the scraping ability with the hand, and he was like, oh, I'll use this band for a reference. Not sure, but very interesting. In terms of appearance, the Hand is a humanoid with a blue, white, and gold color scheme. He also has the signs for the American dollar and the Japanese yen on his body. And he also has two sort of dome, bulbous-like things on the palm of his right hand, which is the hand that he uses to scrape away space with his power. Yeah, the stand looks cool. I really like his design. He's really cool looking. And even though stand stats kind of don't really make sense and aren't really that big a deal, I'll say his anyway. The Hand has a B in power, B in speed, D in range, C in durability, C in precision, and C in potential. Again, stand stats don't really make sense, but if you're curious, there you go. And now we'll get into the main reason I wanted to make this video in the first place, and that is the Hand's ability. The Hand's ability is to erase things with his right hand. He does this by doing a swiping, scraping motion with his right hand, and whatever is next to whatever is erased gets sort of stuck together like nothing was ever erased to begin with, or nothing was there to begin with. This is demonstrated by when he was fighting Josuke, and he goes to swipe at Josuke, Josuke dodges, and he swipes the front gate of his house, and Josuke notices that the sign that was on the gate said no passing, and he said, wait a minute, something's wrong with that sign and that gate. And he remembers that, the sign actually said no trespassing, not no passing, and the gate is visibly smaller, in which he was able to figure out, your stand can erase things, can it? In which then Okuyasu explains that, like I said before, whatever is next to what gets erased gets stuck together like nothing was there to begin with, which results in the gate being smaller and the sign saying no passing. Not only can he use this ability on physical objects, he can also use it on space itself. He can swipe at the air, which erases it, or erases the space, and whatever is near that gets stuck together. He uses this to teleport himself towards an enemy, or an enemy towards himself, or really he can teleport any object to himself that he wants. He's been seen using this power to fly when he fought Red Hot Chili Pepper and he was chasing after it, and he swiped a bunch of times, and he was basically just fucking flying. Red Hot Chili Pepper had a head start and was on a motorcycle, and Okuyasu was able to catch up doing this. One thing that I personally never figured out, and maybe someone can help me if maybe you know more, because I don't know, is whether or not Okuyasu can pick what gets teleported. Like, there's instances where he teleports himself towards something, and there's instances where he teleports something towards him. In his fight with Josuke, he teleports Josuke to him, while in his fight against Red Hot Chili Pepper, he teleported himself towards the bike. I always wondered, does he have some sort of control in that, or is there some like arbitrary sort of or rule behind it? I'm very curious. If someone has any ideas, or maybe Araki said something about it, let me know. Another thing to note would be that I've been saying that he erases things because it's just easier, but Okuyasu, I think at one point when he fights Josuke, does sort of mention that he's not sure where the things he swipes away goes, sort of implying that he's not really erasing it, but it's possibly going to like another dimension or something. But sort of how the concept is portrayed and how they talk about it really does seem like he just erases things, but I'm not sure. Just an interesting thing to note. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, whatever he scrapes is gone. So, yeah. Alright. So, if you haven't already figured it out, the hand's ability is incredibly broken. The amount of potential the ability has is insane. Just the ability of being able to erase anything with your right hand is good, but then add on that you can erase space as well to do even crazier shit. It's just really, really good. It's pretty much a one-hit kill if you are able to swipe a stand or the user with it. There's like no defending against it. You can dodge it, but you can't defend against it. You can teleport enemies towards yourself or vice versa. You can teleport yourself towards an enemy. It's just so many crazy things you can do with the stand. It's just so good. And that's where the hilarity starts, because the hand is a really, really, really good stand. But the user, Okuyasu, is really fucking stupid. I'm not being a dick. I love Okuyasu. I'm just stating a fact. He himself admits multiple times in part 4 that he is stupid. He is self-aware. And so you sort of get this really, really funny interaction where the stand is overpowered, but the user is stupid, and so they sort of balance each other out. So they're not overpowered or they're not shit. It's really fucking funny. People in the fandom have brought up, like, what if certain characters had the stand instead, like Josuke or something like that. Like how the amount of crazy things Josuke would have been able to do with the hand, because Josuke is really fucking smart. Just the fact you can one hit pretty much any stand and user. Like, seriously, if you swipe a stand, that's it, they're done. And it does have a range, but that range doesn't really mean that much when you can teleport with the ability. It's crazy. But again, because Okuyasu is stupid, he will never use it to its full potential. There's a lot of moments when he fights where if he was smarter, he could have ended the fights way sooner. Like, he probably could have beat Josuke, or at least he could have done a lot more than he did when they first fought. But yeah, that is the stand, the hand. Really good ability. One of my favorite stands in part 4. I love it. Such a cool concept for a stand. And also, I already have a stand picked out for episode 2, but I would still love suggestions for future episodes. So if there's a stand that you like, you'd want me to make an episode about, let me know. And that's gonna do it. That was episode 1 of my new series. Hope you enjoyed, and have a fantastic day.